This is Michael. So I made this video to explain the two resources that I just posted onto the Google Classroom. You see, I posted a Notecard Organizer. This was made by Ms. Creer, so thank you, Ms. Creer, and then a works cited template. So I'm going to quickly explain what our expectations are for you to fill out each one of these documents. So if you look into the Notecard Organizer very quickly, so I'm going to open it up and wait. Okay, so you will see that for your Notecard Organizer, the first thing you can do is just quickly mention all 5 sources that you have, and then if you continue to scroll down onto the second page, we kind of have these note cards for you. And one way you can organize this series of note cards is by sources. And your first note card could be explaining what you found interesting about the first source that you're using. So if it's something about the history of marriage in Ecuador in the 16th century, you can talk about something you found interesting about marriage in the past. And perhaps your second source is about describing modern marriage customs in Ecuador and what the ceremony is like. And you can talk about what kinds of drinks, what the customs are in terms of dress and how long it lasts, et cetera, et cetera. So this would be a good resource if you need help starting in terms of unpacking all the information from your resource or from your sources and getting them into a note card form. So this will help you get all of your note cards prepared before you give your speech on Wednesday. And then the second resource that we posted on the Google Classroom is this works cited template. So you can see this is already an MLA format. So the only thing you're going to need to do here is, if you haven't already made your works cited page, is put your first name, your last name, your teacher's name. So in the case of a Comm 20 student, you have Mr. Thompson, the name of the class, so Communications 20, the due date of the assignment, which is December 7th. And then on your works cited, you'll see that I posted, this is just a generic template for what you should include in a citation. So you'll have your author last name, then its first name, the title of the publication, and this would be in italics if it's from, let's say, some sort of academic journal, the publisher, followed by the date published, the URL of the website, if available, and then the date you accessed it. So below, here are 2 different examples of a source. This one would be one that you found from maybe like a literary journal. So you have the author's name, an italicized guide to literary and critical theory, and then the publisher, the published date, and then the URL and the date you may have accessed it. Finally, the second example I posted here is a source that you might have found, let's say, on an online article on the internet. So you can see the author's first name and last name, if available, if you can find the author from the online article. And then the name of the article in quotation marks, the name of the website, the date the article is published, and this would be the URL right here. And finally, the date you accessed it. So this would be, sometime in 2016, obviously. Okay, another part to explain is you can see that with all 5 of these sources, there are hanging indents on the second lines of each source. So basically, in the template video I made earlier, I explained how to do that. But the good part about having this template that I made for you is that you could just copy and paste your sources in, and it should still preserve the hanging indent for each one. What I'd recommend doing is, if you have your source in a different document, just highlighting over one of these sources and then pasting your source over this one, and it should preserve this hanging indent where the second line is indented by 1/2 inch. So hopefully these two resources help, and I'll be in class next Monday and Tuesday to help with the final stretch. Anyway, enjoy your weekend, and I'll see everyone later.